well. Just how pleased were you with the way you guys were able to just sort of enforce your will on that end of the floor?
Yeah, I thought we did a better job in the first half than we did in the second half. I don't think our ball pressure was as good. I thought as the game wore on, we got a little bit less. Biggs fought. I thought Biggs had. I mean, Fee was deflection winner with 6, obviously 4 block shots, and I just thought Lan and Fee and Jess and Mosh when they were in there just battling, being sort of undersized. Other than Mosh, Mosh has got some length to her, but it's difficult, guarding these guys, Angel and Cardoso, and I just thought our commitment to, really making things difficult early sort of set the tone. Now, first quarter we weren't great. Mostly I thought our offense was poor after the first 5 minutes, and we were getting, beat in transition, getting easy stuff, and then we're taking the ball in the net. So it sort of was, we were perpetuating problems on offense by just not very aggressive, but defensively we were, we had our opportunities. We were aggressive and just trying to be disruptive, and I thought we did that.
And talking before the game, you mentioned practice yesterday being good. Maybe could have been a little bit better. Shoot around good. Maybe could have been a little bit better. Just how important is it, coming off a extended break to get a win like this at home in front of the fans and turn the page victoriously on the second act of the season for everything you guys want to accomplish?
Yeah, you said it. You don't know quite what it's going to look like. We just had 3 players at All-Star. All the stories about how much sleep we didn't get. There was good conditioning. I think you probably did see that on some of the videos. So our conditioning was kept up. But in terms of our sort of endurance in the game, you could see that. Courtney at times. And really Fee as well. So I think just kind of coming off the All-Star game and having those 3, I thought Mac played great. Getting that win, it's 4th time in 6 games that you're playing the same opponent. I was overall happy to, come home, get the win, and now get a day off and then a day of work, and then obviously face a really good team coming in.
And I know there's no further information you can share in regards to T. We saw the update, just left ankle out from the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
But did you get a chance to speak with her post game and just like kind of what kind of spirits she's?
She always says the same thing. I'll be fine, coach. So I'll listen to the trainer when he shares.
Fee in the first quarter didn't score at all, 0 for 2, only took those 2 threes. And then the rest of the game just seemed so much more aggressive. Was that something you had to have kind of a conversation with, or did she take it on herself to just kind of take over from an offensive point?
I mean, I remember complaining to her, your best player's got to be your best player. Your best player's got to score. And I think she recognized it. And so, she regulates herself well. She gets it, and still thinks she, there's, ways that she can be effective in the paint and variety of moves, and we're still kind of getting to that place with her, and getting to the foul line, those sort of things. Being able to score in different ways, and we kind of got to get back to that. It's obviously a hard matchup, how big they are, but Fee plays against bigs very well, and I was glad she made a 3, and thought she was pretty agile. Like you said, her pace was good. Her defense was terrific.
I mean, speaking of just Chicago's size, Alana Smith just battles the entire game. She seems to get better every time she faces these big teams about just poking at balls, ripping them from behind. What is it about Lan that, as a 4 playing center, is just so good at those matchups?
I think she has a good understanding of what a team is trying to get. So her preparation and her understanding of best ways to guard. And, if you just play behind and let them duck in, which is what we did in game 2, I believe it was. Wasn't necessarily the plan, but that's what we were doing. And we just grew in that space. And Lana's just smart. She understands angles and, quickness, and, can get around, and she does use her length well, and she's a competitor. She does not like to lose a battle of a catch on the block. And that, sort of relentlessness that she has makes her really hard to play against.
Coach, I just wanted your thoughts on Bridget's game.
Yeah.
steals, 3 steals, 1 block. She came out, set the tone today for you guys. Just talk about what you've seen from her, besides the offensive game that she brings every night.
Yeah, she's kind of turned the page with her aggression, and we need that. And so we're in her ear. I'm on her nerves bad. We're just really trying to help her understand how important she is to the starting 5, and she wants to, and she was really, again, another player who prepares well, knows the scouting report, knows what's available on offense, and I thought she was very opportunistic in those spaces today. Obviously got 7 threes off, all great looks, and just obviously it's helpful. It's helpful, makes everyone else's life a little bit easier, when a player like her doesn't go sideways with everything and defer all the time. So we finally have kind of gotten her switched back to aggression.
Yeah, Cheryl, with Bridget too. What do you say to someone like that who's doing everything you want her to do, but the shot just isn't falling?
Yeah. 3 for 7's not bad. I thought her, rim attacks were good. So I didn't think it was a bad game for her.
Oh, no, she shot well tonight. What I'm saying is that
in general from earlier in the season?
Yes.
Yeah. And that was hard on her. That was really, really hard on her because that's a player that really prepares. I think the simplest thing is that we said to her is, she's got to keep shooting. She's putting the time in. There's only one way to go, to kind of get to the other side of something like that, and it's to go through it and keep putting yourself out there. Because I think the easiest thing is to don't shoot it, because that feels better than shooting and missing, and that's not who BC is. And so she put herself out there for us over and over and over again, shot when she was open. We tell every player on the team, take the shot you're supposed to take. If you don't, then our offense gets hard for everybody. And, BC has a great belief in herself, great preparation, and she knows it's going to turn. That's the life of a shooter.